Hello, Kirsty. Thank you for joining us for our first Red Sofa interview online. Would you like to begin by telling us a little bit about your business, Andromeda Business Consulting?
Yes, certainly, and thank you very much for having me today. Andromeda Business Consulting, I set up, it will be coming up to nearly 11 years ago. So I've been doing this for a fair old while. I became a business coach through chance rather than it was ever a career aim. Spent many years working in different businesses, doing different kinds of roles, different kinds of functions. Been a business owner myself before with when I had a project management training company. Also did business systems analysis and design, so I know what it is to be a business owner. Then spent 7 years working with within an accountancy practice, funny enough, and working with them on helping them build and grow and develop the practice. I'm not an accountant. While we were doing that, we were working with, they had a business coach that specialised on working with purely based around accountants. And while I was doing the work with him, I thought, actually, this has kind of got legs for something for every business. So I kind of developed my own program and started working with the accountants' clients in-house, and I became business coach, and that's how I started my journey. But then after a few years of doing this, I thought this is all I want to do. So Andromeda was born.
Fantastic. So you help businesses with continuity planning. As we're currently riding through the waves of a global pandemic, hopefully on the way out with the vaccine coming through. But can you tell us a little bit more about how you can help businesses to prepare, manage and recover through these sorts of times?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know when I've been talking to some people, they say, well, isn't it like kind of closing the stable door after the horse has bolted, talking about planning. But I think now more than ever, this is the time to really be looking very closely at what you're doing. The idea of business continuity planning, most businesses don't do this, but should do this, is looking at all the various roles and functions of their business. So from, their personnel, their communications, how they communicate with their clients, with their staff, any technology issues that they could possibly have. And now that we're predominantly doing so much online, now more than ever, this has become a big issue. Looking at your payment systems, your banking, all your financial disbursements, all your manual operations, everything around it. You need to look at each of them and then be kind of looking at, okay, as a contingency plan, what do we do in a given scenario? When I did business continuity planning with a group of my clients last summer, we didn't envisage a pandemic. That wasn't part of the reckoning, and kind of that came out of nowhere for us. However, they had put in place various safety nets and precautions, and each one of those clients is still going today. Fantastic. And even though it was a terrifying time when lockdown happened, they were very much kind of with the mindset of, we know what we need to do. We know the things we need to look at and kind of revise that. And as the time's developing, we're kind of looking at this as a new way of being. People talk about we can't wait to get back to normal, but I think this is a degree of our new normal for some time to come. So we need to plan for that.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. You also help businesses market for growth.
Yeah.
What's your approach to that, and how do business know that they're in a correct position to be able to grow?
Every business is different, every single one. But basically there's 4 ways to grow a business, whatever your level. And that's about getting more of your ideal customers, getting them to come back to you more often, increasing the average value of each of your sales, and getting more effective at the business processes, therefore increasing your profitability. The approach that I have is the same across the board, no matter the size of the business or the industry sector, is first of all to actually analyse and understand what it is that they are currently doing. I would say 8 out of 10 businesses don't really understand who they are truly targeting, who their market really is. They have an idea of what they think it is, but the reality is something very, very different. I work very much on the foundations of marketing. So it's about understanding who your competition is, understanding what it is that you're really in the business for, what outcomes your clients are looking to receive. And I take it from there, but it's all part of and tied in with my GAP program that I have.
As business owners, we can get caught up in the day-to-day grind, so to speak, and underestimate the value of taking time out to work on the business and not in it. So as you just mentioned, you have a service there called your Gap service. Are you able to give us a little insight into the benefits on building and growing the business through that method?
Yeah, absolutely. It's absolutely critical for every business or business owner to take the time out to really look and understand what it is they're doing. If you could share your screen with me, I will bring up a slide and I can talk you through the Gap programme. I work with business owners. We talk about the elephant in the room, and that's the things that they're not comfortable revealing to other people and sometimes admitting to themselves. We look at what is holding them back from their own success. We look at what their fears and concerns are. We look at what they need to do to get their business to the next level. And there's a whole range of things that we go through. But we start off with looking at what their personal goals are by having personal goals listed out, and they are listed out as individual goals, and they are all what I call, they are SMART defined. It means that there's a number against it. It's not just an airy fairy dream. We put, how much is this goal going to cost them? When do they want to achieve it by? So there's a time number against it as well. And then we look at, for each of the goals, the individual steps that they need to be able to take to achieve them. We then do the same with the business. And this helps me identify what the gaps are in the business as well as we're going through this. Then we do a situation analysis, and that is by looking at where the business is at in its current state, here and now. And by doing that, we understand what it needs to do to help achieve both the personal and the business goals. Then this is the big section. We dive deep into sales and marketing, because as I mentioned earlier, without having customers, you don't have a business. And that goes for everybody. There's no business without having a customer at the end of it. And we need to let people know what we do. And then we work on looking at you and your tribe. So could be anything from, even if you're a one-man band, you will have other people that are instrumental part of your business, whether that's your accountant or a bookkeeper, or if you've got somebody doing your marketing for you or answering your telephones or anything. It's understanding who you've got doing what. Are they the right people? Or if you haven't got anyone doing stuff, who do you need? Because there's functions in your business that you shouldn't be doing, because you should be out there fronting up your business. You should be out there bringing in the customers for yourself. And then we look at the systems and processes, and this is making sure that you have got things structured in the most efficient way possible. It's not just about IT systems, it really is about business processes. And then this all links into On the Money. This is where I work with clients' accountants at times, and this is to ensure that they are making their businesses as efficient as they possibly can. And it's like looking at things like cash flow forecasting, management accounting, all of those kind of elements. And all of this builds into an action plan. And then my job is to help people keep them accountable for all the actions and stuff that we set out. Now, each of these areas, I have done as individual systems, but together they work at really driving a business forward.
That's brilliant. It sounds like a real good all-round action plan there, Kirsty.
Thank you.
With lockdown this year, we've obviously seen a massive surge in people working from home, and a massive fast forward in technology developments with Teams, Zoom, like we're doing now. Many businesses draw their success from building an unstoppable team, and as you just called it, you and your tribe is very imperative to the success of the business. How has this affected the way that people understand business needs, and how can businesses give this ownership and empowerment to their staff while working remotely and effectively isolated?
I think this whole situation there's definitely been a plus to it. I think it has made a lot of business owners really take a good look at their team. Who have they really got, and this has been the time that many staff members have really shone through and have shown their worth. It's also uncovered those that are not pulling their weight as they should be. But managing remotely is incredibly difficult. But the way that I see it, and this is a personal thing, so I'm just putting it out there, this is my personal choice, is that I would only, when I have had staff before, I would only employ people that I would trust.
Yeah.
And trust is a huge thing. And, obviously there are no guarantees, and you hope that your instincts are right. And if you've done your interviewing process right, if you've actually got the right person doing the right thing, then to manage them shouldn't be a difficult thing to do. I have worked with clients that have had management issues and communication issues, and quite often those when you start looking at it, it kind of stems back that they haven't done the interviewing process right from the get-go.
Yeah.
As part of what I do when I work with clients and I'm looking at them, I always say to business owners, I'm going to speak to each one of your team members, and I'm going to look and see what it is that each one of them does to understand what it does. And every single business owner said, well, I can tell you that. And I said, no, I can guarantee you that they will be doing things that you don't know that they do. And the chances are they're probably doing more for you than you realise they're doing.
Yeah.
And at times it can be duplicated and be causing a blockage somewhere down the line. So as well as looking for gaps, I look for blockages. Yeah. So by actually spending time talking to the team members to understand what it is, what's really driving them, what's frustrating them, it helps to motivate and get the best out of them. And then when you have a team that have bought into what they're doing and what they're about, then they are far easier to manage.
Yeah, that all sounds great, Kirsty. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there anything else that you'd like to add while you're on our virtual red sofa today?
No, other than to say to people, I know that this is a really, really scary time. I know this is stressful and it all feels all so uncertain. But the one thing you must not stop doing, if you want to stay in business, don't stop marketing your business. Do not stop. Now more than ever, this is a time to really push forward, start thinking outside the box. And if that's not something you can do, then that's when you can talk to people, like you, like me, get the experts in, the people that know this stuff, and help them to help you.
Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you so much, Kirsty. Really appreciate your time today. So that's Kirsty, everyone, from Andromeda Business Consulting. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.